Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Friday, May 19, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Baltimore Orioles vs Toronto Blue Jays. The Baltimore Orioles have a team batting average of .252, which is 13th, but improved to 8th in runs scored at 215 and 9th, and both on-base percentage at .329 and slugging percentage at .422. Ryan Mountcastle is the leader in home runs for Baltimore with 9 and is second in RBI with 30. Cedric Mullins is tied for second in home runs with 3 others at 6, and Mullins is the leader in RBI with 34. Baltimore has 5 players with 22 RBI or more. The Orioles have hit 77 doubles, 7 triples and 51 home runs in 43 games. The Toronto Blue Jays have the 10th best team batting average in baseball at .258. Toronto's on-base percentage is 8th best at .330, and its slugging percentage is 14th at .409. Toronto has scored 202 runs, which is 13th in baseball. Bo Bichette is the leader in home runs with 8, while Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is second in homers with 7. Bichette is the leader in RBI with 28, and Guerrero Jr. is second with 26. Toronto has hit 84 doubles, 2 triples and 46 home runs in 43 games. Baltimore has lost 62 of its last 82 played on AstroTurf, and the Orioles have lost 287 of the last 427 against a team with a winning record for a winning percentage of only .327. Toronto has won 9 of its last 13 played at home, and the Blue Jays have won 49 in the last 73 when facing a right-handed starting pitcher. Baltimore starting pitcher Kyle Gibson was hit hard last time out, allowing 7 hits and 4 runs in 5 innings with 5 strikeouts, but issued 3 walks. Baltimore lost to Pittsburgh 4-0 on that day. Toronto starting pitcher Yusei Kikuchi is 5-0 with a 3.89 ERA. Over the last 2 starts, Kikuchi has allowed 4 runs on 13 hits in 10 innings, and Toronto has won both of those starts versus Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Our team pick is Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto's starting rotation is first in baseball in quality starts with 22, while the pitching staff is 7th in batting average allowed at .236. Toronto has a team ERA of 3.92, which is 11th, and the Blue Jays are tied for 11th in WHIP at 1.27. Kevin Gausman is the leader in strikeouts for Toronto with 77, and Chris Bassett is tied for the lead in victories with Yusei Kikuchi, Friday's starter, at 5. Kikuchi is 5-0 with an ERA of 3.89 and 40 strikeouts. Our total pick is over. Cleveland Guardians vs New York Mets. Cleveland lost their second straight and fourth in the last 6 games as they were whipped by the White Sox in their game Wednesday night. The Guardians entered Thursday 19-23 on the season and stood third in the AL Central, 4 games behind the Twins for the top spot in the division. On Wednesday night, Cleveland finished with 6 hits, with no player recording more than 1 in the game. Josh Bell knocked in both runs for the Guardians in the loss, as the team went a miserable 0-for-11 with runners in scoring position. Peyton Battenfield, 0-5, took the loss on the mound as he threw 4.1 innings, allowing 5 runs on 9 hits with 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Cal Quantrill is on the mound for the Guardians as he takes the hill for his 9th start of the season in this contest. He comes in 2-2 with a 3.97 ERA, a 1.346 WHIP, 15 walks and 23 strikeouts over 45.1 innings of work. Quantrill earned the win in his last start, which came against the Angels Saturday. He threw 6 innings, allowing 3 runs on 6 hits with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts in an 8-6 Guardians victory. In his last 3 starts, Quantrill is 1-0 with a 2.21 ERA, a 0.98 WHIP, 7 walks and 8 strikeouts over 20.1 innings of work. Quantrill didn't factor in the decision in his lone career start against the Mets, which came with the Padres on May 7, 2019. He threw 4.1 innings, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts in a game the Padres dropped 7-6. In his 122nd career Major League appearance and 84th start, Quantrill pitches at Citi Field for the first time. Carrasco is likely going to be on a pitch count as he makes his return off the Illinois for this contest. He wasn't great in his first 3 turns through the rotation before hitting the shelf, and the Mets have had their issues offensively this season, despite a ton of power bats in the lineup. Cleveland has had their own issues this season as some of their key contributors this season have regressed, while Jose Ramirez has been on the bereavement list the last few days. With that said, Quantrill has pitched well in his last few starts, and that gives the Guardians a fighting chance here. As Carrasco has yet to impress in his outings this season, you have to fade the Mets accordingly and give the upper hand to the visitors in this contest. Our team pick is Cleveland Guardians. New York won for just the fourth time in 11 games as they managed to rally to win in extra innings Wednesday night. The Mets entered Thursday 21-23 on the season and stood third in the NL East, 6.5 games behind the Braves for the top spot. On Wednesday, New York finished with 8 hits as Francisco Lindor was the lone player with 2 in the contest. Matt Vientos, his first, Francisco Alvarez, his fourth, a game-tying 3-run shot in the 9th, and Pete Alonso, his 15th, a game-winning 3-run shot in the 10th, each homered in the victory for the Mets. Kodai Senga took a tough no decision as he threw 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 3 hits with 3 walks and 12 strikeouts. David Robertson, 1-0, earned the win despite allowing 2 runs, 1 earned, on 2 hits with no walks or strikeouts in 1 inning of work. Carlos Carrasco is slated to make his return off the Illinois as he logs his 4th start of the season for the Mets in this contest. He comes in 0-2 with an 8.56 ERA, a 1.61 WHIP, 8 walks and 8 strikeouts over 13.2 innings of work this season. Carrasco didn't factor in the decision in his last start, which came against the A's on the road back on April 15. He threw 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts in a game the Mets rallied to win 3-2. In his 287th career Major League appearance and 240th start, he pitches against the Guardians for the first time. Carrasco is 9-6 with a 4.43 ERA, a 1.365 WHIP, 42 walks and 120 strikeouts, over 126 innings of work in 25 career starts at Citi Field. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. Seattle Mariners vs Atlanta Braves. Seattle lost for the 3rd time in 4 games as they were clobbered by Boston in the rubber game of their 3-game series Wednesday night. The Mariners entered Thursday 4th in the AL West with a 21-22 record, leaving them 5 games behind the Rangers for the top spot. On Wednesday, Seattle had plenty of opportunities but failed to capitalize, sending them to defeat. The Mariners had just 5 hits with no player having more than 1, but went 2 of 15 with runners in scoring position in the contest. Marco Gonzalez, 3-1, was rocked in taking the loss as he allowed 8 runs on 8 hits, with 2 walks and 1 strikeout, over 1.2 innings of work. Bryce Miller takes the hill for the Mariners as he makes his 4th career Major League start in this contest. He comes in 2-0 with a 0.47 ERA, a 0.421 WHIP, 1 walk, and 18 strikeouts over 19 innings of work this season. In his last start, Miller earned the win as he beat the Tigers on the road Saturday. He threw 7 innings, allowing no runs on 3 hits with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts in a 5-0 Seattle triumph. In his 4th career Major League start, Miller pitches against the Braves for the first time. This also marks his first career start at Truist Park. Prior to his recall, Miller was 0-2 with a 6.41 ERA, a 1.322 WHIP, 3 walks and 18 strikeouts over 19.2 innings in 4 starts with AA Arkansas of the Texas League. Both teams have struggled of late, with the Mariners dropping 3 of their previous 4 games, while the Braves have stumbled with 5 losses in their last 7 contests. In addition, it's a battle of the Bryces as Miller and Elder have both pitched well this season. We didn't see Seattle do much offensively in the final 2 games of the series against Boston, and their struggles with runners in scoring position doomed them, especially in Wednesday's contest. Atlanta is the deeper team with a better lineup at this point in time. Miller struggled in the minors and has faced mediocre lineups in the A's, Astros and Tigers in his first 3 starts. He has his work cut out for them against the Braves and can't handle what they bring to the table. Take Atlanta at home in this contest. Atlanta won for just the 2nd time in 7 games as they took down the Rangers in the rubber game of a 3-game series Wednesday night. The Braves entered Thursday 27-16 on the season and held a 5-game lead over the Marlins in the NL East race. On Wednesday night, Atlanta finished with 8 hits but rallied from 4-2 and 5-3 deficits to earn the win. Austin Riley, run, RBI, was the lone player with 2 hits in the game for the Braves. Eddie Rosario, his 4th, Ronald Acuna Jr., his 11th, and Orlando Arcia, his 4th, a go-ahead shot in the 9th, each went deep for Atlanta in the win. Spencer Strider didn't factor in the decision as he threw 5 innings, allowing 4 runs on 6 hits with 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. Nick Anderson, 2-0, earned the win with a scoreless 8th inning, allowing no hits with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Raisel Iglesias worked a 1-2 to 3 9th, striking out 1 for his 2nd save. Bryce Elder is slated to take the mound as he logs his 9th start of the season for Atlanta in this contest. He is 3-0 with a 1.94 ERA, a 1.122 WHIP, 9 walks and 26 strikeouts over 29 innings of work this season. Elder didn't factor in the decision in his last start, which came against the Blue Jays on the road Saturday. He threw 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts in a game the Braves went on to lose 5-2. In his last 3 starts, Elder is 1-0 with a 1.56 ERA, a 0.98 whip, 5 walks and 13 strikeouts over 17.1 innings of work. Elder, in his 19th career appearance and 18th start, pitches against the Mariners for the first time. He makes his 9th career start at Truist Park in this contest. Elder is 1-1 with a 2.20 ERA, a 1.222 whip, 18 walks and 40 strikeouts over 45 innings of work in those contests. Our total pick is over 8.5 runs. Colorado Rockies vs Texas Rangers. The Rockies have been a bit disappointing so far, but they're still in the mix in the NL West. Is Colorado capable of making a postseason push in 2023? Colorado averages 4.50 runs per game, 14th, and hits .256, 12th, with a .715 ops, 17th. It's launched 37 long balls, 26th, and stolen 14 bases, 30th this season. The Rockies pitching staff has a 4.70 ERA, 24th, and a 1.43 whip, 25th, with 12 quality starts. Kaufman gets the nod for the Rocks tomorrow evening. The former University of Michigan ace struggled in 2021 with AA Hartford, 7.35 ERA and 82 IP, but took major leaps forward last year, increasing his strikeout rate and limiting walks, 4.06 ERA and 77.2 IP. While he didn't fare as well at AAA Albuquerque, his FIP, 5.56, and SFIP, 5.80, suggest he's been better than his stats suggest. The Rangers boast the second-best run line record at home, 13-8, and the second-best run line record, 11-5, following a loss. The Rockies also have the second-worst run line record, 9-16, after a loss. Our team pick is Texas run line. Texas spent a lot of money this offseason to put a winning team on the field, and the early returns have been encouraging. The Rangers lead the AL West with a 2-game lead over defending champion Houston. Can they keep this pace? Texas scores a league-leading 6.19 runs per game, with a .266 batting average, 4th, and .780 ops, 4th. The Rangers have hit 57 homers, 9th, and stolen 29 bases, 17th, in 2023. The pitching staff has a 3.87 ERA, 9th, and a 1.18 whip, 3rd, with 21 quality starts. Perez takes the mound for the home team in the series opener. He's been a steady presence in the Rangers' rotation, lasting 5 or more innings in 7 of his 8 outings. The 12-year vet, who spent the first 7 years of his pro career with Texas, is coming off his 2 worst starts of the season, 11 earned runs and 8.2 IP combined, versus the LA Angels and Oakland. Can he bounce back tomorrow? Our total pick is over 9 runs. Oakland Athletics vs Houston Astros. The Oakland Athletics season has already gotten off to a very rough start, and the season hasn't even turned to summer yet. Oakland is just 10-35 on the season, including losses in 9 of its last 11 games. Oakland comes to Houston after a disappointing 2-5 homestand against the Rangers and Diamondbacks. On Wednesday afternoon in the series finale with the Diamondbacks, the Athletics overcame a 3-0 deficit to tie the game, but had a runner thrown out at the plate and coughed up 2 runs in the 9th inning to drop a 5-3 decision. It marked the 8th straight home series that the A's have lost this season. One positive for Oakland was a quality start out of rookie right-hander Luis Medina, who allowed 3 runs in 6 innings of work. Lefty Ken Waldichuk will get the start for the A's in Game 1 in Houston. He is 1-2 in 8 starts with an ERA over 7 thus far. Waldichuk has given up 52 hits in 41 innings and has surrendered a whopping 12 home runs. On the road, he is 1-1 in 4 starts with an ERA over 9.00 and has given up 8 of his 12 home runs. Waldichuk has a surprisingly reasonable hard hit percentage of just 36.6% despite his penchant for giving up the long ball. His strikeout percentage is 18.3% and his walk percentage is a rather high 11.7%. The Astros appear to have finally turned a corner while the Athletics remain stuck in a corner. Houston has now reeled off 4 straight wins and 7 of 8 games as they continue their current homestand. Houston is hitting .270 as a team in their last 8 games with 7 home runs and averaging just under 5 runs per game. They now square off against Waldichuk, who has an ERA over 9 on the road this season. The Astros should see their power numbers improve against Waldichuk as well, given his 9 home runs allowed in 4 road games. Look for the Astros to keep on rolling on Friday night. Take Houston with the run line. Don't look now, but here come the world champs. The Houston Astros have now won 4 straight games and moved a season-high 5 games over .500. Coming into the series, the Astros are now just 2 games behind first-place Texas and have former MVP and team spark plug Jose Altuve close to a return. Houston is 3-0 on this current homestand after sweeping the Cubs to start the week. On Wednesday, the Astros completed the sweep with a 4-run rally in the ninth inning to beat the Cubs 7-6. Kyle Tucker singled home 2 runs, including the game winner, in the bottom of the ninth. The Astros will now hand the ball to Brandon Bielak to start the series against the struggling Athletics. Bielak is 0-1 on the season in 3 appearances, 2 of them starts. He has allowed 20 hits in 13.2 innings pitched with 10 strikeouts and 5 walks. Bielak has a hard hit percentage of nearly 50% and a strikeout percentage of 16.1%. Bielak has allowed a home run in each of his appearances this season and has not pitched past the 5th inning in any of his appearances. Our total pick is over 9 runs.